Day 2 of your HCS Atlanta Majors kicking off now. Like we said, we got the appetizer before the show really starts. When we get to championship bracket, we need to find out who's gonna make it. Hungry teams coming out of that open into pool play and looking to pull off upsets like Native Gaming.
Yeah, it's a very important matchup here. Match number 1, it's King of the Hill on Recharge. We've got a full series ahead. And like I said, Native Gaming coming out of that open bracket into full play where they find Quadrant, who's looking to stop them in their tracks.
Looks like Quadrant were able to grab a hold of that camouflage early and getting a lot of hill time because of it. Native Gaming surrounding them just a bit, but Snipedrone still feeling comfortable with the cover that he has from his team. And are they gonna finish it out here? There we go. Finally, somebody contested. They get back smacked.
This is beautiful, right? They come through the pipe side, but Quadrant are ready for it. Look how much hill time they're able to get on this first hill, Tony.
So close. Snipedrone, somebody has to get him out of that hill when this is gonna be GloryGGz. He doesn't have the shields to fight, and there it is, Snipedrone pulling off 100% in that hill. That should not be that easy.
We talked about Snipedrone being the player to watch here on Quadrant. He's 3-2-0 and just got that entire hill for the side of Quadrant. A beautiful job by them to have that setup and lock it in. We'll see if Native Gaming can get an initial setup on this second hill, but it looks like they're under fire from both sides, Tony.
Looks like he ain't done just yet, because that's his 5th kill. Call it a killing spree. The man trying to work on the perfection, but I think it's a bit too early to talk about that setup locked in. Sica's able to take down APG and GloryGGz with some decent cross-map damage, but he needs to get up close and personal, which is exactly what GloryGGz does.
What I loved, what I'm seeing out of Quadrant is they're taking space on the map, but just wide space, right? There's players on every corner of this map, and because of that, they put Native Gaming in this stronghold, and it's 3 down for Native once again, and a triple for GloryGGz.
GloryGGz showing why he was brought to this roster to begin with. A beautiful triple out of him, and a large reason why Snipedrone once again is sitting comfortably within this hill. Back-to-back camo for Snipedrone, and back-to-back way too much time. Native needs to find some kind of answer and get out of hand early too well.
Snipedrone, he's got a camo, he's got that second hill as well. Quadrant leading 2-0, but Native do have that elevator side control, but look how quickly Quadrant take that over once again.
Camouflage goes out here, but Sica and Snipedrone, this 1-2 combo has been so tough to deal with for any team. That includes Native Gaming. Snipedrone clearing out that A-side spawn. I know you know how important that is.
Yeah, elevator is such an important spot to be, and you see Native Gaming do attack that side, but Quadrant, even though they get out of the hill, they make sure to hold that elevator side, and because of that, they're able to continue to get hill time and get those spawns as well.
A weakened Barcode isn't going to be able to hold it at all here, because Quadrant still have that control, but oh my gosh. Jeez. Where did that man come from? Where did Native come from? They bust through the front door. Native Gaming are here, and a couple of slays could earn them that A-side control that you were talking about. Is 2 down. Go Quadrant.
This is the first time we've seen Native in control of this game, but how long can they hold it? Quadrant are really good at breaking these setups. They've done it time and time again. Let's see how much time Native Gaming can get here on this hill.
So it's slowly here for Quadrant. Now Native Gaming had the first clean setup that we've seen. This seems like all game long. Quadrant gonna try to take their time as far as breaking it. APG holding on to the gold side. The nade, maybe self-inflicted. Long-range shot. Sica with the double off screen, and APG stuck toward the gold side of the map. Not even able to hold on to that perimeter. That's a 3 down for Native Gaming.
Do you know why they're not able to hold on to that perimeter, Tony? It's because the slays are very heavily in favor of Quadrant. 33 slays for Quadrant, only 19 for Native Gaming. Native have to start slaying, and that means they have to get these power weapons out of the hands of Snipedrone.
Native Gaming coming out of that open bracket into pool play and trying to make it back into championship bracket, but you got a wild Quadrant that's sitting in the way of that. And with Snipedrone hitting shots like that, it's gonna get harder and harder from here.
Quadrant's process is so beautiful, right? They take it step by step. Yeah, you know, Native, you can have a bit of hill time, but we're gonna play the macro. We're gonna take control of the map and then attack that hill. Quadrant are doing that so well, and they've got the camo once again.
SLG being real sneaky with it. Easy kill onto the weakened Gyoki, and now APG knows that SLG's pushing up, but it's gonna be tough to deal with when it's actually 2 instead of 1. 3 down go Native. A double push out of Quadrant clears out that hill, clears out the long haul.
Once again, it's that process. They're taking control of the long haul side. They get 3 down, then they go for that hill. Now they can prevent the push on that tower side from A, and they're gonna do that just fine here. Once again, it's 2 down for the side of Native.
As soon as callouts happen on the side of Quadrant, they are hopping on it. SLG just finding the weakened players and getting some easy kills. Seaside controls what Native Gaming were looking for. It's not what they will get, as Slays once again favor Quadrant, and Native can't find these kills that they need.
I mean, Tony, look at the Quadrant side. 18-4 on a Snipedrone, 17-8 on a GloryGGz. I mean, how do you handle the Quadrant that's coming out this hot? They're going to win this first game, and they're going to win it convincingly unless Native does something crazy.
He said, how do you handle it? You don't. Get out of the kitchen, because they can't stand the heat. Quadrant gonna push you out. Native Gaming finally find a few kills going their way. Finally able to get at least half of that hill here to try to put their first on the board, but it feels like it's only a matter of time before Quadrant get in there and steal this one away. It's a 1-0 for Quadrant, and we come back, we're gonna have game 2. Day 2 of your HCS Atlanta Major continues here on a Slayer on Solitude, and we saw Quadrant with a dominant 1-0 finish. What were your takes? What were your keys to success for Quadrant in that game number 1?
It was very simple, Tony. Slays. That's literally all it was. It was a 20-kill deficit. Quadrant leading. 49 kills for them and 29 for Native. So very, very large disparity there between the two.
And they just keep up from there, because with Glory shooting with the shock like he is right now, and the fact that the last time these two matched up, it was 50-32, and crazy stats across the board. 19 kills out of SLG, 15 assists out of Sica. It was beautiful to watch, and, well, maybe not so much for Native, at least if you're on the side of Quadrant.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of the same here. History repeating itself. It's a 9-3 lead here so far for Quadrant. And again, it's really tough on the side of Native, right? You look at players like APG, former world champs. The guy, he got through open. Like that's a big mentality to go from getting a ring to having to fight through open, but he's doing it. He's been through so much, and now, once again, he's found himself hitting another wall here against this Quadrant roster.
He really has been through so much, but the question now becomes, can he get through Quadrant? And right now, it's looking like the answer is no. A double-digit lead for Quadrant. They're already up 1-0 in the series.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about it. I have to repeat myself again. Preparation, right? They come prepared for this tournament. Not only that, Tony, we got to talk about the intangibles. They are hungry. These guys believe they can win the entire event. We always talk about that big 3, and I understand they're the big 3 for a reason, but Quadrant want to put their name up there with the best, and again, they've got to get through Native Gaming first, and it looks like so far they're passing this test.
Well, what do they say? Success is when preparation meets opportunity, and Quadrant have been preparing. They've been putting themselves in this opportunity, and they're winning every single camouflage. And Snipedrone, who hasn't died a single time just yet. That's
Tony,
on
come
me.
on.
That's on me. That's on me.
You do it every time. You jinxed them. Regardless, though, it was Snipedrone and GloryGGz that led the last game in Slays, and they're doing a little bit of that here. Sometimes, Tony, when you're a player, you're a pro player, you walk into the venue, sometimes you just have a good day. You just feel good. Maybe this is their day. They're looking phenomenal here to start off this Saturday.
Switch gears over towards SLG, a double from across the map. Every single weak player on the map is immediately getting reticles trained on him. Quadrant do not allow a single player to get away, and it looks like he's thirsty.
he just, you know what? The lead is large. Let's just take a sip of a drink, but it looks like they're going to continue regardless. 23-10. Looks like there might have been a situation, I'm not exactly sure, but either way, Quadrant have done a great job here.
Yeah, it looks like we got a little bit of technical difficulties going on here. Why don't we send it to a break while we figure things out? We come back, we will have the continuation of this game number 2, this Slayer on Solitude. We are back, gamers, with the continuation of game number 2. You're gonna notice at the bottom middle of your screen, the score is looking a little wonky. This is a continuation, so we're 20-10. The game actually started 19-7 in Quadrant's favor.
Yeah, Quadrant starting off like this is going to be good for them, of course. And not only do they start off with that score in their favor, they start off with a shock rifle and a camo as well. We'll see what GloryGGz can do with that. He's gonna get the shot onto Barcode.
Well, I tell you, he can hit shots with it, I promise you that. It's perfect shots from across the map with the shock, and now turn this into a flank, tapping buttons, having no idea there's a ghost behind them. GloryGGz from one shock shot into a flank. Native have no idea where he's coming from, but they're gonna find out the hard way. GloryGGz single-handedly dissecting the entire Native Gaming roster.
The young gun starting off 5-0 thus far. I mean, this is just beautiful out of GloryGGz. I love the way he took his shots with patience, right? Made sure that enemy was standing still, made sure to hit that perfect, and now we're looking at a 30-12 score in favor of Quadrant.
Patience, not just a key, not just a virtue, but a weapon that GloryGGz uses perfectly. But with no more shock ammo to work with, he switches to the commando and gets right back to work. He gets taken out, does GloryGGz. This is Native's opportunity to gain some ground.
And Tony, that commando skin's pretty cool looking. It's really nice. I'm gonna have to get myself that. But regardless, it's now GloryGGz on your screen. I've watched this man for years, obviously, in multiple Halo titles. He's always been that player that is the X factor to a team. I think his individual skill is incredible, and he finds himself on this Native roster trying to make some sort of an impact, and that impact turns into a trade for him.
Yeah, decent damage, makes one player one shot, takes down the other. It's the most you can ask for here. The Fallen Vision down by 20 kills are Native Gaming. As of right now, we switch over to Snipedrone, who's flying an SLG, got himself a camo.
That's another camo for Quadrant. I think that's what we've seen, and that's been the storyline throughout this entire series, is Quadrant are just controlling the power-ups, and not only that, the power weapons as well. Look at the patience here out of SLG. Gets one and plays his life, Tony. Masterful play out of SLG.
The sneaky play being right in plain sight, but with that camouflage, navigates that perfectly, does SLG, and takes height in order to get Native and GloryGGz out of that S4 positioning. No player can stay alive on Native.
I absolutely love the patience with those 3 shots, right? So many players rush the beat down. Even that player on Native did, but SLG makes sure to hit those 3 shots consecutively to get that clean beat down and win that timing.
It's a continuation is game number 2, and so far APG struggling. This one hasn't found a single kill yet. The assist isn't going to be enough when Native are down by this level of a deficit. It's 41-23. Native have control for now. Quadrant have the lead.
Yeah, again, Quadrant's gonna have that shock. Tapping buttons, hitting some beautiful shots. A player out of that Latin America region has been into NA for multiple teams, including EG and Halo 5, and now finds himself on Native, but GloryGGz doesn't want to hear any of that history. He just wants to hit shots with this shock rifle. 6 kills, and Quadrant will close out this game number 2.
Camo is going at the moment here, but GloryGGz still has that snipe, and we know what he can do with it. The last time he had it, Native ended up getting blown out a bit, and this is how the lead really started. And now with the shock, he can use it to finish off this game here, as Native have no idea he's behind them once again. Another amazing flank and shot combo out of GloryGGz.
Yeah, I mean, the shots, the routes that Quadrant are taking, the damage that's being output, it's just too much for Native to handle.
2 more kills needed here for Quadrant. Will it be Sica? Multiple members are weak over toward the Native Gaming roster, but Quadrant aren't dropping left and right here. It's GloryGGz that gets the kill onto GloryGGz, bringing them within 1. Camouflage is coming up, but I don't know if Quadrant even needed, because Sica's working onto Barcode and chases him away.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage going out, but unfortunately, none of it's getting cleaned up. Native Gaming are starting to come on a bit of a comeback here, but it's a little bit too late, and it might be too late right there as the last kill comes out. Quadrant gonna win game number 2, 50-33.
It was 50-32 the last time those two met up on the same map and game type combination during Quadrant's boot camp, and 50-33, a very close score line, or at least close to the last one. And Quadrant now up 2-0 in the series, and we come back, could be the final game if Native don't turn things around. They say there is no greater agony than bearing an untold story. And as of right now, I feel like we haven't seen the complete story for Native Gaming. I feel like they still have so much in the tank. But down 0-2 in this series, staring down a possible sweep. How do Native respond here? Because they're going to have to dig deep.
I don't know how they respond, Tony, and this kind of shows us the separation between those open bracket teams and some of the best teams in the world. Quadrant trying to get into that conversation. Native are going to have to pull something out of a hat here, because at this point, Quadrant are dominating, and it shows in the stats. It's a 2.54 KD for Snipedrone in this series.
He's been the man. I keep saying he's been the baddest man in the EU, and we are seeing it right here, right now, but we're also seeing some life coming out of Native Gaming. A quick read down for Quadrant, making a full squad wipe. Native hop right on those strongholds, wasting no time whatsoever.
Okay, I mean, as a caster, you love to see this, especially when the series 2-0. You love to see a little bit of life, like you greatly mentioned, and a little bit of control on the map as well. They've got this B-side lockdown. They force the spawns onto A. Now it comes to see if Quadrant can break this setup, but they go 2 down.
Gilka was making a play over towards Alpha, trying to get that trip cap, but it's not going to happen. The reset is in, and so is APG and Tapping Buns, holding the line right now as Quadrant still looking for their second strongholds. Nades are being dropped down, but somehow APG survives and lives to hold down the green side.
I mean, he's a world champ for a reason, a veteran play right there to stay alive on that B side and make sure that he's that anchor position. Unfortunately, he goes down, and that's because Quadrant understand the importance of APG's position in that play.
56-27 lead in favor of Quadrant. Now they're once again scoring. Charlie and Bravo being locked down in the same way that Native held on to that double cap. Quadrant have an opportunity to do the same. First kill goes toward Native Gaming. Quantum Translocator is stolen as well.
Okay, this is great by Native, right? Again, it's Quadrant who have the setup now, flipped on its head, and Native break, and they killed 2 on the side of Quadrant. This will give them potentially B here, but B still being capped. Finally, it gets reset, but look how quickly Sica rotates towards that A side to continue having Quadrant score.
I think on the kill feed, I just saw a bit of a mind the gap. Glory sends Gilky flying off of the map with that repulse, and Sica, because of it, ends up back here toward the green side and behind enemy lines. Eventually called down and dealt with, but Quadrant still have a man advantage. Will they get a stronghold here?
You got to see these individual fights being won. Barcode barely loses that one, but that's kind of been the story in this series thus far. Quadrant individually winning those fights, but also, once again, controlling the power-ups.
Glory may have camo. Native, they've eaten away at this lead so far, but they're about to lose Charlie. An unorthodox Alpha Charlie setup for Quadrant ends up going to a 3 down, and now Native 3 down, no strongholds. That doesn't add up.
Yeah, it doesn't add up at all. They're not capitalizing on those kills. They're not having that objective efficiency. And Glory's with this sniper gonna make A difficult to take here. Finally, they do take him down. Sniper's gonna end up going down. That'll be 3 dead for Native Gaming though. So Quadrant are gonna have a bit of control off that.
It was hard fought. They eventually get Alpha, but now losing Bravo, not exactly what you want to see from Native Gaming. Currently down in score, and Quadrant once again scoring.
This is a big pick by APG. He needs to hit this shot with the sniper right here. You see the defense on the back of B. You see it on Nest Bridge as well. This kill will open up everything. Can he get it?
Glory surviving for now, but APG knows he's there, and a bit of Halo timing right there as APG backs down over toward the bottom mid side, and they're looking for an avenue to play with our Native Gaming, and Quadrant about to put another trip cap on the board.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of great bait and switches out of Native Gaming. I'm starting to see the chemistry build up here for this roster, but at the same time, they end up going 3 down. So even with those bait and switches, the individual skill, maybe the damage output, not there for Native.
Well, those who navigate the map together sometimes die together. And at Quadrant, they were ready for them right there, baiting them out, trapping them. Native with the answer back though. Alpha and Bravo, 61 points, but still down by quite a bit. Native have to show something. Back-to-back kills, that might be what the doctor ordered.
I really like this out of Native. We're talking about Quadrant, one of the best strongholds teams in the HCS. I know they've got a bit of roster changes, but they're still considered one of the best. Native are contending, in a sense, with this Quadrant roster in this map number 3, and being down 0-2, you love to see the resilience out of Native Gaming.
Quadrant once again leading the slays though, and because of that, Snipedrone ends up right in the Bravo side. Charlie already belongs to them. Quadrant scoring once again. Camouflage is coming up. Quadrant already having 2 bases. How do they navigate defense while going for camo? But they just lost it.
That camo is so important for Native to pick up, but Quadrant had just had control of it this entire series, Tony. And you talked about the slays. Currently, Quadrant are leading 38-30, so still in the slays category. Native not able to really pull anything off.
We've seen moments from Native, and we've seen that so much throughout this tournament. We've seen moments of greatness, but haven't been able to put it together. And Native are the ones who could get swept right here, right now. Something has to change as Quadrant continue to hold Alpha and Bravo this time, and Native Gaming stuck over toward the Charlie side. SLG's gonna be pushed up towards Nest, and the damage rains down. Native, where are you?
I love this by SLG, right? You know he's that anchor position. You know he's on the B side, but he pushes up to get control of C. It's a bit harder to get the triple cap on the live fire just because of how the spawns work, but it's still Quadrant putting a lot of pressure onto Native Gaming.
100-point advantage here for Quadrant, and SLG just doing max damage here from the Nest side. Finally, Native Gaming are able to take him down, but is it enough here as Yoki falls himself?
I see something a bit different this time. It was 3 down for Quadrant, and Native directly go to B. This is good, and now APG's got this snipe. If he can stay alive and start to get a couple picks here, we can see something different, but once again, Quadrant are on top of making sure he goes down, and they've got the power weapons in their hands.
Sica being aggressive with the sniper. This is what you want to see. Quadrant aggressive towards the Alpha side. This is what they want to see. Native Gaming still falling their lead, or never had it. They never had control. Quadrant keep getting kill after kill.
4 down for Native Gaming. I mean, Quadrant are in full control, and now they lock in that triple cap. Tony, this is a vice that's going to be difficult to get out of. As you see APG spawning on the Brutes, it's going to be staggered spawns throughout.
The lead grows for Quadrant. Yoki has made it towards the Nest side. This is what you want to see, but now it's Sica hitting that snipe, the necessary one, and right through the mid he goes. Native Gaming may have Charlie, but they don't have much else. In fact, Barcode doesn't even have his head after that snipe.
Wow, beautiful. I mean, it's a great job by Native Gaming to try and capitalize on that AB setup, but they're not able to, and Quadrant take control once again.
The final seconds are coming in, and Native have to full-on push over toward the Bravo side. There's nowhere to go. They're able to take it, but look how Quadrant are able to out-rotate him and play Charlie. It is a full-on rotation that is happening right now, and eventually the win comes in. That's 250-94. Quadrant pull off the sweep. Native Gaming gonna have a tough road to try to make it into the championship bracket. We're going to a break.